Hey, what's going on guys? It's me Aiden, welcome back to another video. Now today I have some big info regarding the Shanghai special, so make sure you stick around. I also have time codes if you just want to skip around to the certain parts, so those are there for you. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this, starting off with the new date. So someone on Instagram messaged Telecine, which was going to be airing the Shanghai special on March 27th, and they actually responded saying that it was moved to an unspecified date in April. Now the next soonest airing of the Shanghai special that we know of as of right now is on Family Channel on April 2nd. Now to me, I see this as an absolute win because sure, this special gets pushed back a few days, but we get it in an English premiere. And to me, that is a much more enjoyable experience than getting it a little bit sooner, right? So this, for me, is overall good news. Now, I should say that the Family Channel airing was confirmed via an email, and they have not made an official statement about that yet. So we cannot officially confirm that Family Channel is going to be airing it on April 2nd. So that date is subject to change as always, just like every single date is. But yeah, just wanted to put that out there. Alright, next up we have a new trailer for the Shanghai special. Now this one is very short, so I'm going to go ahead and play it for you. But this one has some old clips that we saw in the previous trailer and some new ones. So let's just go ahead and play that for you. So yeah, as you can see, just a very quick, short 15-second promo. There's a few little pieces of information in here, which I'm going to touch on. And I'm not going to touch on everything, like there are a few new clips in here that I'm just not going to mention because they're not very important. So the first thing I want to touch on is Faye mourning the loss of someone. This is very likely her father or someone very close to her that was sort of like a father figure to her. We can see in the photo it looks like a man. We don't really know anything about this because we don't really know anything about Faye. But this could be a very good explanation as to why Faye was maybe brought up in sort of like a gang, because that's sort of where I'm seeing this going right now, is Faye is sort of a part of this gang or the mafia or something like that. So it would make sense if her father died that she would have to be taken in by someone, and those people who took her in was the mafia. Now there could be two reasons for this. A, the dad was connected with the mafia, or B, the mafia just found her on the street and was like, all right, we like you. Now we don't know if either of those are correct. We don't even know if it was her father who died. So yeah, she was just mourning the loss of somebody here in this shot. Now I do want to mention the background here because this does look like the same burnt down temple that Gabriel was in the previous promo. So I cannot confirm if that's accurate, but if it is, then that just means that this is sort of connected in some way. So I just thought I'd put that out there. Next thing I want to mention is Faye just waking up in this cold sweat, and it looks like she's crying a little bit here too. So it's very likely she was just like dreaming of a bad memory that she had. This could possibly even be the time that her father or whoever did die. So it's very likely that that is what happened. Now the final thing I'm going to touch on here is Faye jumping in to save Marinette from the people who are presumably chasing after her. I'm just saying that because the clips are in that sequential order. So Marinette being chased and Faye just jumping in here doing all her like cool moves could be completely unrelated, but it's very likely that Marinette was being chased and she jumped in to help her or whatever. Now again, this is very interesting because we don't know why Marinette was being chased, but it's possible that Marinette was being chased by Faye's, like quote unquote like family or like her mafia group that she's a part of. So like it would be weird if Faye stepped in here and was like, don't touch her, I'm gonna save you, while the people who were attacking her were a part of the same group, right? So that would just be a little bit weird. Can't confirm that at all. I don't know why Marinette is being chased and by who, but that is a possibility, so I don't know. Alright, so that's really all I had to talk about on that clip because, like I said, it was very short, just not very much info to talk about there. But we did get a new 3-minute clip that's like of the first 3 minutes of the Shanghai special. Now, I cannot show this to you because it gets copyright claimed. It was up for a little bit, but it got taken down. So if you have not seen it, I will leave a link to a subtitled version. It's on my website, so you can go there, watch it there. Now, for those who maybe haven't seen the subtitled version, I will go ahead and just describe it to you. Now, I'm going to be quoting Miraculous France here on Twitter because they had a pretty good explanation of what happened. So they say, she was supposed to join Adrian to make a picnic with him and her friends, but he learned that he had to go to Shanghai for the opening of an Agrest store. So she wants to go to Shanghai to give him the mailbox, which was for her uncle, and she just used that as an excuse to go to Shanghai for Adrian. Now, Miraculous France followed that up saying, also, Adrian is disappointed that he can't make the picnic with his friends, but is happy to have time with Gabriel. In the secret place, which is just the back of the plane, he shows Nuru that he already has the Prodigious with him, and he's going to use it to defeat Ladybug and Cat Noir. Now, I think that's a little bit inaccurate. I do not think that the bracelet is the Prodigious, and I'll touch on that here in a little bit. So I just want to put that out there while I was reading that quote. All right, again, same idea. I'm not going to touch on everything in this clip because if I were to do that, there's so much stuff to talk about, you know, just like little details. So, yeah, I'm just going to talk about the main important stuff here, and that's mostly with Gabriel. So the reason why Gabriel went to Shanghai on this specific day is because he was planning and waiting for the Enchanted Eclipse. Now, I have no idea what that is, but it's something cool. And according to Natalie, the conditions for that eclipse is going to be ready tomorrow. So yeah, they are really on a tight crunch there. Now on this screen here, we can see a lot of cool different like, you know, maps and like where it is and like a hologram of the cave and stuff like that. It's just really cool to see. Gabriel opens up the safe and reveals this bracelet. Like I said, I really don't think that this is the Prodigious. I think this is the key to get the Prodigious. Now, Nuru comes in here and is like, please, master, think about it. There was a reason why the Prodigious was abandoned. And he says that reason is because it was just too powerful. It was so powerful, it was dangerous. And Gabriel basically says, exactly, that's why I want it. It's so powerful that I could use it to defeat Ladybug and Cat Noir. Now, here's the interesting thing, right? He says he's been planning this for 15 years. At least that's what the translation says. I cannot officially confirm that because I don't speak French, but that's what apparently it says. Now this I feel like is very important because we thought that Gabriel became Hawkmoth because Emily died, right? Or not, she didn't die. She went into a coma and he is trying to bring her back to life, essentially. She didn't die, but you know what I mean. Now, we know that he and Emily have been using the Miraculous for some time now. We don't know for what reason, but that's how Emily sort of got into the deep coma, is by using the Peacock Miraculous. So why has he been trying to get this Prodigious for 15 years? Like, that does not make sense to me. Well, I mean, it does, but like I just don't know why, because we don't know any of his backstory. We don't know any of his motivations outside of trying to revive Emily. So is he evil? Like, is he actually evil and he wants to rule the world? And that's why he wants this powerful Prodigious? Like, I don't know what his intentions are, but the more and more we see of this guy, it just seems like he's eviler and eviler. Like, I don't even want to give him a chance to be good. So yeah, I just thought that was honestly maybe the most important thing that we gathered from this, is that he's been doing this evil stuff for years. Like I mean, sure, he just became Hawkmoth like a year ago as far as like where we are in the timeline right now. And I mean, the Shanghai special takes place like halfway in the year, but that's regardless of the point. He's been doing evil stuff and planning for evil things for years now, and that just is insane to me. So yeah, that's really the biggest thing that we learned from this clip, but I did want to talk about like Tom, because Tom is just so funny. I love Tom so much. Now the final thing I wanted to talk about was just how Marinette's parents have been saving up for this trip for like since she was born, and I think that's really nice. And I think it's a little bit sad that Marinette, like, I mean, she didn't know this, but the reason why she wanted to go was because of Adrian. It wasn't because of like, I'm actually interested in my heritage and stuff like that. So I think it makes it a little bit sad to see like, oh, the parents are actually so genuine and like, you know, they're excited that she's interested, but she is actually like, nah, I don't actually care about that. I just want to see Adrian. It's like, okay, Marinette. Now here's the thing I don't understand. They were like, we can't really close down the bakery, you know, it's just too sudden, things like that. So you're gonna have to go alone. what are they thinking? They know that Marinette's like super clumsy, and at this point, she's even more clumsy than what she is in like at the end of season 3, because this is at the end of season 2, guys. So, like, what are they thinking letting Marinette go off to a different country on her own? We saw that she was just walking around. She got her stuff stolen. Like, she clearly is not ready for this. She's not old enough for this. She needs to have a guardian of some kind with her. That doesn't make sense. And I know her uncle was there with her at some point, but the uncle just disappeared when Marinette needed him most. So like this just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you let like a teenager go off by herself in an unknown country? Like, that just does not make sense to me, but whatever. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about with these new clips and promos. Hopefully there's no more, because it seems like we already know a good chunk of what's going to happen. So I'd like to keep the rest a secret. So fingers crossed that we do not get any more info. But, you know, knowing Tifo and all this stuff, we're going to get more stuff. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy, you can leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Miraculous Shanghai.